I have been studying the psychology of success, human behavior, and social dynamics for the past 7 years of my life. I grew up bullied, socially anxious, and broke as fuck in every sense of the word, which is why I got obsessed with these things in the first place. All I wanted to do was to find a solution to my suffering and to do something significant out of it. And so I did. In the past 4 years of my life, I built a 6-figure audience, closed hundreds of deals as a result. I got to speak in front of thousands of people, live on stage or online. I got paid to speak on stages. But most importantly, I got to launch Born to Speak, which is now on its way to become the #1 community on Skool for public speaking, influence, and charisma. Now, I'm not saying this to impress you, but I'm saying this to impress upon you that it's possible. If I could go from that broke-ass kid to who I am today, then so can you. So the reason I'm making this video today is because I recently got to do an immersive workshop with about a dozen salespeople and business owners. The purpose of the workshop was to teach them fundamentally about how to present themselves, how to speak with more confidence, more authority, more conviction on camera and on their sales calls, which obviously will completely change the game of their business and their sales. That is where I got to share all the practical, tactical, and theoretical advice I got to learn from years and years and years of suffering. I'm not just talking out of my ass, it's stuff I had to go through to live that transformation. We're talking everything from influence, from behavior change, from state, from self-image, and even charisma. So what I'm going to do today is compress all the knowledge from 7 years of being obsessed with that into a format that you can watch and you can see me get these guys to transform live, like right in front of your eyes. Here is what you can expect in today's video. #1, the first part of the workshop is where I give the guys personalized feedback. I get to ask them a few questions and I give them immediate feedback on their speaking. You can recognize them yourself in their speaking. Then #2 is where I go into the psychology of confidence. That's the theoretical part. That's where you can understand the philosophy behind everything I do. Then #3, we go into the life transformation part. This is the core of the workshop. That's when I get these guys to do certain exercise that you'll be able to do in your own life so that you can experience the same level of transformation. You're gonna be able to see them transform live in front of your eyes. And last but not least, that's where I talk about the true frame, the real power of presence, the real power of persuasion, the real power of how you actually get to move people. Because I always say the world is shaped by those who learn how to move people. And that happens with frame. You'll know exactly what I mean by that when you watch the end of the workshop. If at any point of watching this, you realize, wait a minute, instead of actually watching the workshop, I would rather participate in it, then this is my invitation to tell you, guess what? It is free. You can join for free. Born to Speak, for now, as I'm recording this, it's still free to access. It's not gonna be like this forever. Right now it still is. So you can join the link in the description, say hi in the community, and then join our live workshops. Or you can just keep on watching them on YouTube. It's your choice, my brother, all love. But if you're the type of person, like I am, who's all in, the person who's like, you know what, fuck it, I wanna compress my fucking time of progress because I believe progress or mastering a skill is not 10,000 hours of doing the thing, it's 10,000 iterations of doing the thing. That's how you compress time. So if you wanna actually experience the same feedback that these guys are getting, then that's where I'll find you. Otherwise, listen guys, enjoy my life's work. I wanna know, why are you guys here today? Human beings are benefit-focused creatures. It's very important to remember why we're doing what we're doing. It's very important to be very clear on what we want, because if we're not focused and very clear on what we want, you better be sure other people will have a plan for you. This is why I always begin seeing a little bit why everyone is here on a deeper level. Sure, you want to practice public speaking. Sure, you want to be more confident. But why does that matter to you? So who wants to start? Who's the courageous one here? You can just
let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'll start.
Go, Darren.
To be honest, the last years of my life weren't too awesome. I've had quite a lot of trauma, which put my confidence really down because I made a lot of bad decisions. But in the end, that turned out to be a great benefit in the end. So now I really know what I want, and I just have to face the things in my life and practice at everything. So one day I'll get where I want to be, and the first thing of doing that is starting to practice. So that's it.
Thank you for saying that. I respect that. There's no purpose without pain.
Exactly.
The things that you're going through, that's the fuel that will turn into purpose.
Exactly.
And you were the courageous one to start. And so I respect
no.
that. Congratulations. Let's go, Jake.
So yes, I was. I've been traveling, so I wasn't in the last meeting, and I only watched about maybe 10, 15 minutes of the recording of the other meeting. But I am definitely here because I am like terrified, basically speaking in groups. Like right now, I'm doing the best I can. One-on-one has been no problem. Before it was a problem, but now one-on-one is good. But with groups, I get really nervous and uncomfortable, and I feel like my words don't come out properly. And I am born to speak, but I haven't been speaking. So
You are, brother, and I'm so grateful to have you. Have been seeing that potential for you in the last 2 years now that we've known each other.
yes,
And you have
thank you.
a gift, such a gift. And I've always told you the world deserves to hear it. So I'm glad to see you here.
Thank you.
Welcome. Awesome. Thank you. Carol raised his hand.
Yo, what's up, guys? Yeah, I just kind of wanted to speak. That's what it's all about. But yeah, the workshop is on confidence and fear, right? And I might not like fully struggle with that. I mean, I'm open to people and stuff, but I know those two things, like having confidence and like even if you have fear, just acting anyway, has been like a tremendous skills. And like it really helps in life to just, do pretty much anything. Like you're starting any business, you have to be confident, you have to go through fear. And so I think these are amazing skills. I came here to pretty much listen. I mean, so like I struggle a lot with those things, but it's always great to just always learn and, listen to maybe new perspectives, add on to your skill and just kind of perfect the craft, I would say. So yeah, that's why I'm here. Welcome, guys. And yeah.
Guys, that guy is a menace. That guy's a menace. That mindset is built different. You guys can see he has no issues with confidence whatsoever. His speaking was supernatural, yet he still step up to the next level. I respect that, Carol. Grateful to have you here.
Thank you.
You to set the example as well. John, welcome, brother. You're muted. You're muted.
Just here to hang out and learn. I don't struggle too much to speak to people, but I always think I can be better, and I like to be able to. It's something that you can practice, right? So I want to practice, learn from others. And yeah, that's why I'm here.
100%, man. Glad to have you here. And if you could point one deeper reason why it's important for you to practice that and to be here.
Yeah, because my main goal in life is to be a successful YouTuber and a coach. And so I kind of need to be able to communicate as well as possible. I do believe that I have a gift to people around me. Tell me I have a gift for counseling and helping other people sort out their problems in life. And so I want to make sure I have the asset and the ability to do that to the best that I can, to make sure that I can actually convey the message appropriately to the people that I'm with, right? So yeah, it's career-wise, but it's also very, very personal that I'd be able to help the people that need help from me in my life. So
Of course,
that's
brother.
a deeper reason.
Yes, thank you. I believe the world is shaped by those who learn how to move people. You guys know me, I repeat that all the time. And the only way you move people is with communication, especially if your goal is YouTube coaching. That is the one most important skill. Beautiful. Glad to have you here. Willem, what's up?
Hey, what's up? So my kind of reason to be here is for practice, because I told you about my plan to make a promotional video for my school. So if my plan is to speak right in front of the camera, it needs some practice. So I talk calmly and don't rush my words out. And I
Yes.
don't want to sound weird. So
Beautiful.
practice makes perfect.
Of course, immersion, feedback, that's what we're here for. I'm excited to start. I'm going to tell you guys why this was created in the first place. But thank you for being here, brother. You're an OG. Madur, what's up?
Hello, everyone, bros. The main reason I'm here is just to get to know what I lack. I have not been really aware of what I lack when it comes to speaking, but hopefully I find out today and then I get to work on it. So,
Yeah. How long have you been practicing speaking, bro?
well, since 2 years, I've been just documenting whatever that's in my head, and that is the reason I can speak to these many guys at once. And yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, it is, bro. I'm impressed. I told you when you send me the review, because by the way, Madhur accepted the challenge, because I said I had this idea where I would take a world-class speech and get you guys to perform it and then compare both. So Madhur was the first one to accept the challenge and to send me the video. By the way, this is an announcement. Everyone else can do it. It's still open. You guys can choose any world-class speech in movies or in a global leader. And Madhur did it, and I was impressed. I'm excited to review it. So congrats, Madhur. You're already great. Today, we're going to step up to an even higher tier. Beautiful. Thank you. Tej, what's up?
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Tej. I'm from Slovenia. 2 months ago, I actually went into like appointment setting and sales. So this is the main reason. Also, my whole life I was like more introverted, and also like to hear someone that actually knows what he's talking about. He has that charisma, that confidence. So I want to be like that. Also, I want to speak more English, so I practice more because my English is my second language.
Yeah, I respect that, but I mean, English is my second language too. Matter of fact, it's my third language. I started learning it at a higher level when I was 14 years old. 14 years old.
Oh.
So it was quite late. And my English was super bad. And what I did, that's an advice I can already give you, some little sauce. Anyone who want to practice their English accent, put your phone in front of you, and for 10, 15, 20 minutes per day, all you need to do is what I call video journaling. So all you do is you share your day. You talk about your day, you talk about your lessons, you talk about what you're grateful for. Whatever it is that you want to journal in a paper journal, you can do that speaking to a camera. That's a 2-in-1. It practices you thinking about figuring out words faster, the right things you want to say in that new language faster, accent, because you just speak, and since it's recorded, you can listen to it after and review how you pronounce certain words. So that's what I did for a couple of years on a daily basis, and now I get to do this for a living in English. Most of my romantic relationships as well were speaking in English. Some of my best friends, who one of them is on this call, I love you, brother, we speak in English. And so this opened so many doors for me. So you're in the right place. I'm grateful to have you here. Let's practice all of that. And your name, Tej or Tej?
Tej, yeah.
Tej.
Yeah.
Tej.
I would have to go in 30 minutes because I have the call for the role.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So,
30 minutes.
yeah.
So you mean at
15 minutes till 7 at my time. So
okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, a big part of the workshop will be done already. Who's left now? We have Aryan. What's up, my brother?
Yeah, I'll go next. So the reason I'm here is basically the same as Madhur, the same as a lot of these guys here, which is this skill is so important that I feel like you can always improve at it. And it's not like I have any problems being social or being confident, but it's just certain times it's a lot higher than other times. And I just want to develop it into a skill that I can internalize and that, I can get really good at, because I feel like that's one of the fundamental skills you need to succeed as a man. And like John, I want to go into coaching and content creation as well. So I feel like this is a skill I can't leave up to luck. I need to master it so I can turn it on whenever I want to. So I just want to improve and become the best at it. That's why I'm here, because I feel like a community like this, it really accelerates the learning curve. You can keep on doing all the research you want alone, but when you have a community like this of guys who are trying to get to the next level, it just helps so much more.
100%. And we're going to touch that in literally a few minutes, why that matters so much. But man, you mentioned mastery. Because when you were talking, I was like, this is how I'm going to answer. And then you mentioned mastery, so you already know it. It's a skill you want to master at a subconscious level so that when you're put on the spot in whatever situation, like right now, none of this is planned. I'm improvising the whole thing. I didn't plan on each answer, but I've practiced so many times. I put myself in these shoes so many times. Now it just comes to me. And now I'm confident in delivering whatever it is that comes through me. But that happens with mastery and repetition and immersion over and over and over again. So in the right place. Beautiful. Anyone else left? Because I cannot see everyone on the screen. So now is your time. If someone didn't introduce themselves, raise your hand. James! James in the place, man. I didn't even see you. Welcome.
What's up, my man?
What's up, my brother? Tell us.
Yeah.
Here.
So happy to meet y'all. You know, I didn't actually know heard what was your introduction, but I guess it's just to present yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so mainly me, what I'm here is just because I met like Danny in real life. You know, we have like a common ground. We were working together, and actually, I never had the chance to see him in this world, right? Because it was mainly where when Danny worked on it together, it was like a mix of both. We have his world, also mine, but now I wanted to see like how he's fluent is his own element, and I think like Danny is a really great speaker. You know, for people that didn't even met him in real life. The way he speaks to you in the camera, he will speak to you in real life like that. And me and Danny, I don't know for what reason, we just connect. Since we see each other and we talk for a few seconds, we know we're going to click, right? So me, I know that being here is only can be valuable for me because, I can learn from him and see, what he passes a whole time to teach to other people. So mainly I'm here to like just see in the background and learn from everybody, Like, I think we all have, some competence we want to improve. And, let's just, like, cheer them up and be the best at 1% every day, man.
Fuck yeah, brother. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. I'm glad to have you here. And I'm excited to do the in-person workshops as well. Because if you guys don't know, the bigger vision with that community is to make it international and then see which city in the world has the biggest amount of members. And then it's me starting to travel around the world and doing workshops in person. This is the ultimate vision. This is the long-term vision. So until then, we're going to do it online. But one day I'm going to meet all of you in person. That's my vision. That's the dream. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to start. And there's two things I want you to know. I want to be real with you guys as we're starting this. Let me put myself here so that everyone sees me well. Okay. There's two things that are different about this workshop than anything you've seen out there, most likely. This is not a workshop where you're going to have a slide presentation with Canva, and all you guys need to do is just take a few notes. This is an interactive experience. We've already done this far. This is an interactive experience. This is why the rule is there. The cameras must be on. The cameras must be on. You guys will all participate. You guys will all interact in this workshop. We are doing this together. This is a brotherhood. Very important. And that's on the point of immersion. Immersion. Now, the other thing is, I'm warning you guys. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. So you will be challenged. You will have strong feedback because that's what you're here for. I can be nice to you, yeah, good job, and never give you feedback, or I can tell you, listen, you want to level up, this is what you got to do. And that's the feedback part. So those two things, immersion and feedback. The reason I created this community is because I was genuinely unsatisfied with what was out there. Some of you guys might be familiar with Toastmasters. It's a public speaking community. So I was in Toastmasters for a couple of months. I ended up winning Speaker of the Year as the youngest guy in that club within a few months. So that already shows you the level. But I'm grateful for that. They taught me some things. But then I started inviting people into the community, and all of them said, bro, there's no way this is the only place we can learn how to speak. And the answer was, it was. There was no other place in Montreal. But then I told myself, what about globally, online? Then I started looking. And I was never satisfied with exactly what I knew I needed back when I was still struggling very deeply. So this was the reason this community is created, for these two things. I believe proximity is power. You want to grow a skill, you get close to someone who already has it, as close as possible. And number two, immersion. Immersion. If you want to learn a new language, what's the best way to learn it? With Duolingo, with your daily little habit, 15 minutes per day of Duolingo, or being dropped in the middle of a country that only speaks that language, and you have no other choice but to survive. How will you learn faster? Of course, it's by immersion and consistent feedback, because you have no other choice. People say it takes 10,000 hours to learn a new skill, to master a new skill. I say it takes 10,000 iterations. You can compress that time if you have faster feedback. You guys follow me? These are the intentions of these workshops. You will be challenged. So we are here today to get a result, a very specific result that you guys voted for, by the way, which is confidence. Confidence. Can someone tell me what is confidence?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Who is going to speak?
Nah, you can speak, Lauren. Then
I was going to say, like, when your words align with your intentions, like when you, I don't know really how to describe it, when you do what you say you're doing, like, I don't know how to properly describe it.
That's a good one. It's a good one. I would say it's more about congruency. That's how I define congruency. So words match the intentions. It's truth. It's alignment. It's congruency. That will help the confidence, and you're going to understand why, but it's not a definition I have. There's no right or wrong answer, though. I wanted to see what your guys' perspective is. Okay, awesome. James, what was yours?
mine is more when you're doing something without thinking about it. It's like, now I'm talking to you. I don't think like if I make sense. I'm confident on what I'm saying. I'm deliver it like without thinking of like, hey, am I doing this good or not? It's just it come out of the natural. It's like breathing.
Yes.
You're confident of breathing. Nobody thinks about breathing because they're doing so much. They're confident about it.
We're confident about breathing.
Yeah.
Because you said we did it so much.
Yep.
So you're very close to my definition.
Okay.
You're very close. It's basically the same thing, but I'm going to use a word that makes it even simpler. Let's hear what Ariane has to say before.
I was going to say basically something similar to what James said. I feel like the word that can describe confidence is authenticity.
Yeah.
Because like he said, you don't think, you just do whatever comes to your mind. So it's just raw authenticity, and we could say unpretentiousness, and just going
Yes.
for it without thought.
Loving all of those. All of those are subcategories. All of those are pointing to it. So thank you, guys. But the way I define confidence is very simple. It's proof. Confidence equals proof. Proof of what? Proof that you are who you say you are. That's it. Why are experts confident? Because they've done it so many times. The fuck do you mean you're going to doubt me? Look at all the data. There's a mountain of proof, and they stand on that. So it's proof. Why am I confident right now speaking to you guys? Because I've done it so many times. I've gotten paid for it. That now it's like, yeah, it's second nature. But it wasn't always like that. For those of you that don't know, I was diagnosed with social anxiety. I was seeing therapists as a kid because my social life was struggling. I got bullied. We had to move 4 times when I was a kid. And since I was a new kid, I was bullied over and over again. In high school, I almost dropped out of my drama class. I mean, I knocked on the director's door. I said, sir, kick me out of the class. I don't care. Put 0 on my scorecard. I am not speaking in front of the class. And I didn't. Now, thank you to my teachers. They still made me pass because they liked me as a human, but I could have failed that class. That was how bad it was. Couldn't speak to any girls either. But then I built it step by step. I built it. Now people say, oh, he's a natural. Oh, he's a natural. Sure, I'm a natural. After basically almost a decade of practicing that and building the proof over and over again. You put me in another environment though. You put me in a surgery room and you tell me you gotta do surgery. Will I be as confident as I am right now? Of course not. And that would be delusional. That would be dangerous even for the person who wants to have surgery. So confidence is still dependent on certain contexts. But there's one type of confidence that is universal. And I want you guys to uncover it with me. I won't give you the spoiler. Come on now. I want you guys to tell me, what will be the biggest obstacle to proof? What will be the biggest obstacle to building proof?
May I speak?
Yeah.
I would say if you don't really know what you're talking about, that's if you try to like fudge it, or if you're talking about something that other people don't really resonate with. Like if I'm telling you how amazing strawberry ice cream is, maybe you're lactose intolerant, maybe you don't like strawberries. Like to speak about something that you know other people are going to resonate with.
Beautiful. So
Yeah.
essentially what I'm hearing is uncertainty.
Yes.
Okay, I love that. Uncertainty would be kind of a synonym or a side effect of the specific thing I'm looking for. So you're very close. Thank you. John, what would you say?
I would say fear of failure that comes from being a beginner.
Go. There you go. Ariane, James, I apologize. John said it first. Fear. Drake said, you're not really sure. That's uncertainty. That's a side effect or a synonym of fear. Fear is the main obstacle to doing what it takes to get the proof, because we all suck at the beginning. Sure, talent exists, but even talent, you look at professional athletes, singers, whatever, when they initially started, they weren't as good, far from that. So everyone starts, the first time is the worst time. But people are so afraid that they'll be judged because they suck. They're so afraid of the rejection. They're so afraid of what comes as a result. Now they never take the initial action it takes to build the proof. So fear is the main obstacle. Now, what is the opposite of fear then? That's an easy one. You can type it in the chat or just unmute and just say it. Opposite of fear. Anyone?
No fear?
Well, what would that be? What are we aiming for?
Confidence.
Yes.
Courage, bravery.
Courage, bravery, faith. Courage, bravery, faith. This is the universal proof for confidence. If you are a human being, if you're a man, and deep down inside of you, you know that no matter what obstacle comes your way, you'll figure it out. You know you're unstoppable because you have built that proof that you have courage. So sure, I'm not as confident if I go into a surgery room, but I am confident as a man, as Danny, because I know I've overcome some tough shit. I know I have had obstacles and I've broken through them. I've built that muscle of overcoming fear, which I call faith or courage. And that's a universal form of confidence. And that's what we build here. This is the intention today, to overcome that fear. So the way we're going to do that, Ariane, you have your hand raised. Before we go, do you have a question or something you want to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, when you guys were talking about how fear is the biggest obstacle to developing confidence, I just wanted to share something I read a few days ago. It really resonated with me. It said the only time you start at the top is when you're digging a hole.
I love it.
I thought that was crazy good, because you can apply that to everything. And as you were talking about, you need to overcome the fear to develop the proof. So the only time, whenever I doubt anything I'm doing, I just tell myself the only time you start at the top is when you're literally digging a hole.
Thank you. I'm going to steal that analogy from you. It's so good. It's so good. I love it.
It is.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Beautiful. So here's what we're going to do. Let's start. let's start the immersive process. I want 2 people on the stage, on the virtual stage, and I already have 2 people in mind. I want Carol on the stage. Carol, you're here. And I want Tay on the stage. Tay, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. So I want you guys to share with us again why you're here. Maybe you can go a bit deeper. Just share what is your reason why you want to build that confidence in speaking. Carol, you can start.
Okay, I can start. Sure. I mean, I believe confidence and maybe not slaying fear, but like kind of feeling the fear, but still doing the thing. These are the things kind of required to do the action. And if we take a look at life, what we want is we want results, right? We want something. Everyone wants something. Like many people here probably want a better career, more successful relationships, better health, etc., just be more happy overall. And these are results. And results come from action. And the biggest things preventing you from doing actions, of course, there's a whole list. But amongst that list, there's obviously just not having confidence and a lot of fear. And so if we can get rid of that, we can do more actions, do more value, do more better actions because we think better, we're more confident. So we do different decisions and actions. And that ultimately just comes into every single result of my life, right? And I kind of care about results. So yeah, that's why I also care about, slaying fear and confidence.
Beautiful. Thank you. So when I get guys to speak, I want everyone else to listen carefully and to look at the way the person speaks, because I'll ask you guys questions later. So you guys listen to Carol. I got some mental notes in my head. Now let's listen to Tay. Tay, tell us, what is another reason, maybe deeper? Tell us a bit more about your story. Why is it that you want to master public speaking and get over that fear?
So like I said before, my whole life I was a little bit more introverted. Also when talking to girls, don't have this confidence, I think, and also now in sales, I think this is one of the most important things. Also when filming Klums, to land your role, you must be confident, know what you're talking about. So the guy that actually watches your video says okay, he will do anything that he said he will, and he's the most confident of them all.
Yes. Thank you. Awesome. So you guys paid attention. Thank you guys for sharing that with us. I want to see in the chat, both of them similar age. I know them. Both of them similar age. Both of them, English is not their first language. So I picked 2 people that is a fair comparison. Now let's break it down. If you guys, and again, I told you guys, I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. And this is an environment of growth. So it might be uncomfortable, but we're here to grow. I want you guys to vote, honestly. If you were to meet these 2 guys for the first time, you were meeting them for the first time on a call, and that was your first impression, who would you naturally trust more? Who would you naturally have more confidence in? Let's see. I want to see the chat. We're here for honesty. Let's see. All right, everyone, put it. I know for some people it might be uncomfortable, that type of situation, but that's how we grow. Cool. Okay. So you guys see the chat. Tay, you have an advantage here. What is your advantage? Since people voted for Carol, you have more to grow. There's a bigger gap of growth. So you're going to get more out of this workshop. But the winner of that first interaction is Carol. I would think the same thing. Now, Maduro did something already. Tone and cadence in the voice, warm, genuine excitement in the combo. Beautiful feedback. Everyone else, tell us, why did you pick Carol? in that particular situation. By the way, Tay, I was worse than you at your age, much worse, bro. Like, you already have a big advantage. I felt his enthusiasm. Yes. Inviting, fun. Nervous. Yeah, I am too, exactly. We all are. Okay.
Actually, funny thing, I want to say something. Carol was more extroverted. I want to say something. I took a personality test, like 16 personalities and a couple of more. I'm going through like a Charlie Morgan course, and there was like this little thing where you have to do a couple of personality tests just to know yourself better. And it said that I'm 78% introverted. And I just kind of want to lay that out because I sometimes seem like a super extrovert, but I'm like exact opposite. But that doesn't really stop me from like, you know, speaking better to people that I know I can trust. So yeah, I just wanted to lay that out as well.
This is so important. So important. We are all introverted and extroverted in different contexts. Yes, some of us lean towards one direction. Yes. But even if you're the most introverted person ever, it doesn't mean you cannot condition that skill in that state so that when you have to show up in front of people, you do it right, like Carol did. No one would have guessed, Carol. I didn't even know. You're more towards the introverted. And I've talked with you a few times. We've talked on calls, right? I wouldn't know. Because you develop that skill. All right, Tate. The feedback, I agree with. I love your voice. It's deep, it's calm, it's grounded, it's confident. You have an advantage there. But we could all feel a little bit of eh. There's no better way for me to put it. Eh. So you specifically, to do it again. Share it with us now that you know that. And put more smile, a bit more energy, more listen. We're brothers here. We're being honest with each other. We've all been vulnerable. Carol just told us something. I told you I used to struggle a lot. I was much worse than you. So we're in between brothers here. Tell us.
Okay, guys. So my name is Tej. I'm 19 years old, based in Slovenia. I've been in sales for 2 months now. Actually, I want to learn to be more confident, enthusiastic, and to have more charisma because I like to listen to people that have this and also want to have it. So this is my biggest reason why I joined.
Beautiful. You guys could hear already the slight difference, a little bit more enthusiasm, a little bit more smiling. See the feedback? Love it.
Yeah.
All right, now I want to get up from your chair. All right, James already knows about this one. James went through this one. All right, and what I want you to do now is you're going to move a little bit like this. Okay? Do this now. Do it. Do it loud. I want to hear it. There you go. Do it again. There you go. Let's go. Jump a little bit. I can feel the excitement as I'm doing. Awesome. Now sit your ass down again. And tell us, why are you here? Let's hear you.
So I'm here because I want to have more confidence, be better at talking, and specifically like to others to listen me better and actually know what I'm talking about.
Beautiful. In the beginning, you probably noticed that, and I'm curious to know what happened in your head as you were talking to us. In the beginning, you started, I said, oh my God, yes. I see the enthusiasm, I feel the energy. And then there was and then you dropped down. What happened in your head in that moment?
Probably too much thinking.
Too much thinking. Too much thinking. We are all guilty of that. All guilty of that. But I want you to notice the difference. When you change your physiology, you actually got excited. You got excited. Now you started and the energy was high. You were in flow. You were flowing. Then boom, you got into your head. Then boom, energy stopped. This is an advice for everyone else listening here. In your head, you're dead. Remember this, you're in your head, you're dead. The reason people use filler words, the reason people, by the way, Carol, that's feedback for you as well. I would say it was awesome. There's one thing I want you to pay attention to, and you can watch the recording after. The number of times you use like. The number of times you use like.
Yeah.
If you would have spoken without that many like, man, it's almost world class. So pay attention. Okay?
Okay.
Now-
Yeah.
Now, Tay, as soon as you got in your head, what happened? Then the room was blocked. Am I right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So here is another little drop of wisdom for all of you. Silence is your superpower. I want you guys to notice when I speak, pay attention. I might not be perfect, but there are almost no filler words. There are almost no uhs, ums when I speak. Instead, just like what I just did, I use silence. Silence is your superpower. It sends a signal to the subconscious mind of the other people that you are comfortable enough to let the pressure be there. The reason people, and there's one person watching the live right now, that this is a message to also, I love you. The reason people are uncomfortable with silence, the reason people want to fill it up with filler words and they talk a lot, is because they are uncomfortable with the social pressure. They're uncomfortable with the social pressure. They cannot hold it. So now they have to fill it up. They're uncomfortable with uncertainty. The uncertainty of not knowing exactly what you're going to say after. So Tay, when you were talking and you were in flow, boom, there was an empty, you don't know what you're going to say next, or you're in your head. Now you went, and the energy went lower. If instead you would have went, and then bum, 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 you would have been able to hold that pressure and come back with the same energy. And almost no one would have cared about that moment of silence because they would immediately be grabbed by the next thing you say. And a more specific advice, so obviously pay attention to that, Carol, too. Pay attention to the amount of filler words you use. I was the worst with that. The first course I ever did, I was like, bro, how can you use so many filler words? I was actually mad at myself, and it's the first time I could see it because I listened to the course, and ever since that moment, I told myself, I am removing those from my language. So there's awareness, but there's also the idea of be present with the physical sensations in your body. Be here and now. You're in your head, you're dead. Come back to the physical sensation in your body. Where do you experience the discomfort? Where do you experience the discomfort? If I want to approach a beautiful group of women, because right now this is the challenge for me. One woman, easy. A beautiful group of women dancing together, having fun, and I have to go there alone and sustain their attention. This is now my level of challenge. I still do it, but this is what truly challenges me at the level that I am now, in full transparency. So if I have to do that, and I put myself in state before, I put myself in state before going out. Now I'm with friends. We're putting the state high. We're keeping it high. And then boom, I got to go. It's going to suck. It's going to make me so nervous. I'm going to experience very deep fear. So what do? Instead of listening to a story in my head, or what if they reject me, whatever, where do I actually experience the blockage? And the answer for me, it's always here in the chest. Ah, well, that makes me human. And what are they? They're human also. Okay, so let me go now, because there's no story anymore. I'm not in my head. I'm present here. I can hold space for the experience in my body. I'm detached from the stories in my mind. Yes, Tay, I know you want to go. This is why I brought you.
But you prepared me very well for my interview right now. So
Yes.
Thanks.
And if you want to have more enthusiasm for that interview, remember that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Love you, bro. See you
Thanks.
soon.
Bye.
Peace. Awesome. Who wants to get on stage? Who wants to be on stage? First one to raise their hand. John, let's go. John, I want you to share with us a story. Share a story of what happened somewhere over the past days or weeks. Share a story with us.
I always found it difficult to focus on creative projects when I got home from work. And it wasn't until recently where I noticed a very interesting disconnect with my work ethic at work, building someone else's dreams, versus my work ethic at home, trying to build my own creative dreams. And that was the source of a lot of shame and guilt. And that was the primary motivator of why I started my self-help journey, my discipline journey, started reading all of the books. It's the primary motivator as to why I started. I wanted to be a content creator and work for myself, work from a laptop, and travel the world. And that was the biggest bane of my life, was not being able to work as hard on my dreams as when I worked hard for my employers. Like, why is this? Well, recently, due to research, I actually went to a doctor and got diagnosed with ADHD at 29 years old. And so now it's like, oh, I'm not stupid. I'm not lazy. My brain is actually just different. I'm in the 5% of humanity where the brain just responds to the environment differently. And basically, I am super good under pressure. The fear of getting fired, my boss needs me to do this now, we're behind schedule, boom, boom, boom. When my brain is under pressure, it's like a race car with no brakes. Also, one of the reasons why my boss struggles with me is because I forget stuff. Silly little things that we really need, but I will forget things. And that's just sort of been a really interesting revelation for my life. And I feel like my life is now going to be split in half. There's the time where I didn't know how my brain worked. And then there's the rest of my life where now I know how my brain works and I can use it to my advantage and stop working against it. And that's the end of my story.
Wow. Guys, I want you to send little applauding emojis for that man right there. Congratulations. You said you're good under pressure. You just proved it to us. Come on. You had no script. It was all improvised.
Hey, John, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, since you got the diagnose, like, how
Mhm.
have you handled your life differently? I
Mhm.
because I really relate with what you said. Like, when you know something, you can act
Mhm.
on it. So how
Yeah.
has it changed for you?
John, can I pause you just for 2 seconds? Keep your answer in
Mhm.
mind. Darren, I
Yeah.
like that. We're going to all get more value here. John, keep your answer in mind. Before that, because we can all forget and get distracted, I want you
Yeah.
guys to actually pay attention to John. Obviously, he was good. That was great. But except for a little ego boost, which is always good, there's nothing he can actually learn from us saying congratulations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you guys have feedback for John, type it in the chat. I already have some feedback in my mind. So type it in the chat if you have some feedback. I'm curious to see what you guys noticed. If he could improve just a few things, what would it be? You guys take the time. By the way, one of the best ways, if not the best way to learn is to teach. So by practicing giving feedback to others, that's how you learn the skill yourself. That's why it's so important. Yep. Yeah. Let's see what the others have. Carol, that is very true. That is very true. We all know this. A bit too many ands. You're great with filler words. I only heard one. Only one. You said one time. That's it. there's two patterns I did notice. Then I'm going to keep reading the rest of the feedback. There's two patterns I did notice, which was, first of all, at the beginning, awesome. The silence, it was great. You just started, boom. Flow was awesome. You would go through waves. At one point, it felt like you were looking for what to say next. So you didn't use filler words, but you repeated a few things. I don't know if everyone else noticed. A couple of times you repeated the same thing, as if you were looking for what to say next, and in the meantime, repeating what you already said. That's just something to be aware of. You can watch the recording after. That's why these are recorded. And indeed, and, which is a form of filler words. Just much better than So you can pay attention to that as well, and structure your story in a way where it doesn't require as many ands. That would just bring it to the one next level for you. And also notice when you watch the recording, the waves I'm talking about. You're getting in flow in certain moments. You are in, man. We can see you're locked in, you're sharing your story, and then boom, you get in your head a little bit, you start repeating, or you start using more ands, then boom, you're back in flow. That's natural. We all go through that. The goal is for us to all move towards flow as much as humanly possible. That's when people that are a bit spiritual or religious, that's where the divine is flowing through you. That's where you're one with God. That's your best work. That's my deep belief when I do this. Almost nothing that I'm saying right now was scripted. The structure of the workshop, I had an idea, but all I'm saying now is improvised. Because I believe God or the divine will always give me what I need to say when I need to say it. So that is what we're all aiming for, to be in that state of flow, that state of faith. Okay. Would love to connect with John. Oh, interesting, John. Your story inspired people. I love to see that. He's great with his tonality, pacing, and everything in between. No problem getting attention with his way of speech, but a little bit of structure to the story would help. Exactly. So that's the thing with improv. Obviously, if you had planned that speech in advance, you would have crushed it. Obviously. But that's easy for guys like you. There's different levels to the game. People who are already good natural speakers, not natural or practiced speakers, you get script, easy shit. But most of life is improvised. Most of the best opportunities you're going to have is on the spot. Boom. Sell yourself. Boom. You meet a beautiful woman. Now what? You have a script in your mind? I hope not. So that's why I'm practicing improv. That's what helped me the most on my journey. Repetition, tangents, sure, I'm done. I'm down. Okay. Beautiful. That's what I love to see. Now, Darren, your question, John, you can share your wisdom.
There's a filler word. One of the things that, because I got my diagnosis like a week and a half ago, and I would say one of the biggest things is if I have to work tomorrow, having a hard stop is very, very important. Because if there's no deadline to what I'm supposed to be doing today, I can procrastinate and say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make the thumbnail. I'm going to write that script in a second. Let me just watch one more YouTube video. If there's no hard stop where I have to turn off my laptop and shut it down, I can stay in that cycle, that repetitive procrastinating cycle till like 12 at night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, right? And then my sleep is messed up because I have to get to work at a certain time. And because I have ADHD, I'm always going to arrive right on time because I'm great at calculating, how much time I need. I got my route memorized. I know exactly how much time I need to get into the gas station, grab an energy drink, pull it back, and arrive just in time. And also maybe use the washroom on a Tim's that's halfway between where I am and work, right? Like, very good at that. But then my performance will be down because I don't have sleep. I'm running on energy drinks. And if if I didn't end my day, if I didn't end work specifically at a certain time, there's a really good chance I didn't plan out my work for tomorrow either, which means now I'm going to get home. I'm going to de-stress like all of that tension that was pushing me through the day, making my boss love me and securing my job and keeping me employed. That's all going to go away. And it's not going to be applied to my own tasks. Now I'm just going to be, my brain's like, well, we don't need to be going anymore. We're good. And so I would say that's the biggest thing. And also understanding that I haven't studied this too much yet, but there seems to be, my brain seems to have come in and out of a mood where it's like, I'm in the mood to be creative right now, and I'm going to bang out the outlines for 2 whole new courses that I'm going to make like right now. And then like, ta-da, I have 2 outlines for 2 new courses in like 20 minutes. Done. I don't want to do it anymore. Butterfly, you know. So my brain seems to dip in and out of these zones at weird times where, yeah, let's get it done. And other times it's like really a chore to like get going. And so, yeah, I would say trying to figure out what those time zones are, how they're created. Is it nutritional? Is it sleep? Is it the time of day? Is it before a shower? Is it after? Do I need music? And just having a hard bedtime, a hard stop time.
Okay. I think it was a really interesting answer. If I could give one feedback right now, I would keep it more concise because it was pretty long and it was hard to follow at one point. So I would just keep it more straight to the point. But I do get what you're saying. So thanks for explaining. It was really interesting.
Guys, I didn't even need to be on stage during that last segment. Come on. That's what I love to see. You got feedback, we got extra sauce, and I wasn't even on the stage.
Yeah, no, I'm just sharing because like I think the feedback is the only thing that really gets us forward. So like I could say a lot of good things, but so thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. I think the tangents that I go on and the repetition, I'll add more and more details to something that's really not necessary to get to the point. It's because I think that's a symptom of ADHD as well. So
I recognize it because I also do it. So
yeah. That's what I was going to say. We're all guilty of that from time to time.
Exactly.
That is already awesome. Beautiful. Thank you. Now, first person to raise their hand is going on stage. Let's see who wants to go. Ooh, okay. Ah, shit. I saw Darren first. Google tells me it puts in green. I don't know if you guys see it as well. Do you see who's in green and who's in white?
We do.
Okay, cool. So the green is the first person. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do, Darren. By the way, before you start speaking, I want to ask you, everyone, I'm very curious. From the first moment I put people on stage, what is going through your mind throughout the rest of the workshop? And be honest. Do you have that little feeling? And I was very guilty of that for a very long time. That during the whole workshop, yes, you're kind of present, but you're also in your head. What if Danny puts me on stage? What will I say? What will I say? What story will I share? Oh, and then you start feeling a little bit of your heart beating a little bit as I'm saying this. Shit, what if I get to be on stage? All the people nodding their heads. James, you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, anxiety, man. I think that's the feeling.
Yep. See how everyone's nodding their heads, or almost everyone. We're all human. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? That's what makes us human. So you got to remember, again, sensation in your body. Feeling that fear is okay. There's no problem with that. What I respect is you guys still being here, still raising your hand despite that. And this is what matters. So I want you guys to know that little sensation, we all go through that. Beautiful. Darren, I want you now, I'll challenge you on a bit of a higher level. I want you to share a funny story with us. Not an educative one, something that is entertainment. Doesn't need to be all of us laughing. Don't put that pressure on you. Just share a story that is entertaining and not educative.
Okay, wait. I shouldn't have said I'm just gonna stay silent. About a year ago, I went to a nightclub with my friends and I was really drunk and I wanted to go get some shots. And I kept asking the DJ for 5 shots of Zambuca. And all my friends recorded it and it was pretty painful at the time. Now it's quite funny, but yeah, I still get laughed at quite a lot for that.
Do you have the recording still?
If I had take 5 to 10 minutes and my friend sends it to me, I can get it and I'd love to share it. I don't mind. Yesterday I was with friends and I expressively brought it up because I wanted to get over the fear of like, hey, like in the past I used to push it away. So
Yes. I love that, brother. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for respecting the challenge.
you're welcome. Yeah, I also went on a tangent, so I had to stop myself because
Let's see what the people have as feedback, not on the story. So this is a very important rule we're gonna have here. When I ask people to share either educative or funny, or I won't spoil the other little categories I have, I'm doing it so that you're put on the spot, so that you're really into a situation where you have to improvise, for real. Never give feedback on the actual story. That's not what matters here. We care about the delivery. That's what we're focused on. So you guys, what is your feedback for Darren? And then of course I'll give mine. The speech was great, only heard one and it was at the beginning, I believe. You like his delivery? Beautiful. Again, Darren, you can be proud of yourself. How
really, yeah, it's really weird to do my head. I thought I kind of fumbled it, so
you can be proud of yourself, bro.
okay, thank you. But it didn't feel like that for me. But thank you for.
Okay. So here's something super important. I'll put myself back here because that's a very important one. Listen to what Darren just said. I feel like I fumbled 99.99% of the time. Maybe there are some exceptions. I've never met these exceptions in my life. You are doing a better job than what you think you're doing in your own head. 99.99% of the time, because I don't want to say 100. It is always the case. I remember I had to do presentations. My heart was going to explode. I felt like my whole face was red. Is there even something red in the room? Like the wall back there. That's how it felt like. I couldn't breathe. And then I would tell people, did I look nervous? They said, no. I said, what? I didn't look nervous? The heck are you talking about? I feel like I couldn't even breathe. People don't notice. People don't notice. And so this is a universal rule, and you're going to experience it more and more and more as you get this feedback. We could, of course, sense a little bit of tension, but it was far from being fumbled. We can sense a little bit of nervousness, of course, but it was very far from being humbled. And I can promise you it was worse in your head than when it sounded like. This is a very important lesson for everyone. Okay, let's see.
Thank you.
Need to be going. Okay, see you guys, bro. See you, John. See you. We'll have to focus harder to find anything to provide us feedback. See, that's a very good sign. I wasn't aware of the speech, but the story, so it's good. Nothing to point out. If you think you're doing bad, realistically, you're doing way better. If you think you're doing good, you're realistically doing worse than you think, and you have to get back to reality. I love that one. I love that, Carol. Okay, so guys, that's beautiful feedback. I always encourage you, though, look for what can be improved, because that's much more valuable. Right now, it's valuable for Darren to know it was much better than his own head, but it's also, let's focus on improvement as well. In the beginning, you started with, okay. So you already know the feedback I'm going to give you. It is very natural, but it's much better to just, and even if it takes 10 seconds, no one will blame you for that. You just got put on the spot. So that's my first feedback. Then you said, oh, well, I just used so I guess I have to be more aware. The self-awareness is beautiful, but keep that for yourself when you're speaking on stage. These thoughts of self-awareness, it's like, oh shit, I don't know where to put my hands. Should I put them in my pockets or out of my pockets? We think that sometimes when we're speaking. It crosses my head from time to time when I'm a little bit more in my head than in here. But I'm not going to say, oh, by the way, guys, should I put my hand in my pocket or out of here? So you want to keep that for yourself. That's the other feedback I have for you. Then you said you went on a tangent, but my feedback is the opposite. I found it short. I wanted to know a little bit more about your story. So a couple
I
of
often
years,
feel like it's a problem I often have, like I'm a burden.
bro, we just uncovered the fucking root cause. That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, it's going on in my head a lot.
100,000. You have a lot of self-awareness. That's a superpower if you use it and not let it use you.
Exactly.
I wanted to hear more. And I mean,
well, I could tell you more about the story, but I don't remember it. I was so drunk. So
beautiful. You just added an element that would have been awesome to say. Because I said entertaining. And listen, guys, I would have tell you more, but to be honest, I didn't even remember because I was drunk. That's entertaining. You could have said a little bit more about the beginning, though. Could have said, so a couple of years ago, me and my friends were hanging out. One of them goes, guys, let's go to this club. And this club was actually the wildest one in our city. So I said, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. So me and my guys, we're walking, we're joking around. And then one of them says, let's take shots. Shot. So we're all here taking shots and shit. Then next thing you know, I'm with the DJ, asking the DJ for shots. What the fuck is going on? And then boom, you keep on going. And then he said, I would have told you the rest, but to be honest, don't even remember because I was drunk. There's a lot of ways you could have just expanded a little bit. So that's my feedback. Especially when you're asked, there's no way to be a burden. There's no way to be a burden. But that's a deeper thing that we can also work on in one-on-one, privately. But I love that this is a breakthrough. This is probably the underlying reason. This is the underlying reason. Remember, that's in your head. You go back in the physical sensation of your body. Where do you physically feel that you're a burden?
I'm not sure if I can answer that question that straight away, but I think it goes pretty deep into like trauma and addictions and stuff. So it's a hard answer, that one.
It's an impossible answer. You know why? Because it's not in your body, it's in your head. It's not real, it's a story. It's a story. It's not there. And that's the power of focusing on the physical sensations. Yes, there's actual fear. You can experience physical fear. That's not just a story. It's there. But all these other stories, I'm a burden. What the fuck does that even mean? That's some bullshit. It doesn't exist, which is why stay present. All right, thank you, Darren, for being put on the spot. Now, it's been more than an hour, which I don't mind going a bit across the hour, but that was our last introduction. Let's see, just quickly, the comments. See what the people. Yes. Yes. Awesome. So, brothers, any last words or questions or feedback you have for me for that workshop? I'm here. I got time for questions for sure. Willem.
So I kinda saw your Skool message a bit late, and I just noticed that you sent it. Like Gmail takes a few hours to deliver the message. Did you see what I was doing there?
I didn't. I think you bugged or my brain didn't process.
I intentionally added in some arms to sound worse.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the last thing you said, that's what I didn't understood. It was you saying, oh, I just used Okay. Okay. And what was the feedback again?
No. I just wanted to tell you that I will do the speech thing and I will send it to you.
Okay, got you. Perfect. Yes, I'm excited. Let's do it. Yours will be very interesting. Very interesting. I'm excited to review it. Thank you, Willem. Who else raised their hand? Arian.
I like how you talked about being in your body more than your head. And so I feel like that's something that we all struggle with, as Darren was talking about how he has this story in his head. I feel like all of us do because of our childhood experiences. We've made up a story in our heads and then we just stay with it. And so I just want to know what your exact solution to that is. I know you said be in your body. If you feel fear, just feel that fear totally and then go up to the girl and approach. Like, how do you get out of your head in that exact moment when you're so fearful? Because we can talk about it right now when we don't feel it. But when you're in that situation and you're feeling it immensely in your body, how do you deal with that at that exact situation?
Yes, exactly like what I just did right now. When I get asked a question, there's no way for me to plan it in advance. And so I have no other choice but to be literally focused on the closest thing I can describe it is the inner field of your body. And there's a couple of things that came up when you asked me that question. So the first thing is, how do you actually condition yourself to get out of your head and into your body? There's no better way than to practice it, obviously. And so there's meditation. That's the boring answer. That's the one thing. Okay, sure, I got to meditate, but do it. Do it. Actually do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one thing. Meditate. Meditate, 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 meditate. The second thing is understanding. You cannot solve a problem by thinking about it on the same level than the thinking that created the problem. Do you follow me?
Yeah.
So if your fear came from a story in your head, you cannot solve it by creating another story in your head because it's the same level. It's the same level of the problem. So when you understand that, you realize there's literally no point in me thinking more about it. Actually, there's no point. And when you truly start seeing no benefits to it, because remember, at the beginning, what did I say? We're benefit-driven creatures. The only reason now your brain is overthinking is because it believes that by overthinking, it will solve the problem. If you truly understand, you cannot solve a problem on the same level of thinking than the thinking that created it, then you'll find much more benefits in going back to your body, letting that fear come and go. And then as you're in your body and you're letting that fear come and go, boom, the right answer will come up. So practicing, obviously, that comes with meditation, and also understanding why you're doing it, which is there's no point in thinking more about a problem. It won't solve it. It won't solve it. If thinking could solve our problems, we would already be much at a much different place in life. We all agree? We've done a lot of thinking. We've done a lot of thinking. Human beings for thousands of years have done a lot of thinking. Where did that bring us? That comes with humility. Sometimes your thinking cannot solve it. Trust, have faith in God, in the intuition, in whatever, your subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it, that will come up with the answer.
Yeah, so there's a time, like right now you're teaching us communication, right?
Yeah.
And I guess what you're trying to say is there's a time and place for learning and a time and place for doing. And when you're doing, you can't learn while doing. So right now, like you told us, stay silent, don't use filler words. So we learn that right now. And then when you're interacting, if you're just thinking in your head constantly, am I using filler words? Then you're just screwing it up. So when you're interacting, you got to be in flow. Post the interaction, you can then analyze that interaction back again with what you've learned, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, that man just described it even better than what I could have described it as. That's exactly what I mean. And the way I usually describe it is there's anticipation and then there's reaction. So winners anticipate, losers react, which means you want to do as much work as possible in anticipation. That would be learning. That would be meditating. And then there will be a moment though you're put on the spot. Now you got to react. And when you're in reaction mode, the only thing you can do is trust. By definition. So you want to do as much anticipatory work as possible, so that when you're put on the spot, now you can trust your instinct. You can always trust your instinct, but the more you practice, the more you can trust it. Exactly.
Yeah.
You got it there. You got it. This is why I can write a lot. I can conceptualize all my models of thinking and what I want to teach people, and I can prepare for the workshop. It never goes like planned. And thank God, otherwise life will be boring. What always ends up happening is whatever comes up in the moment. Then I listen to the recording and I'm like, whoa, my answer here was awesome. Where did that come from? It came from God. That's my belief. And so I take that answer, boom, I turn it into a model. I study what happened so that next time it's more and more natural.
Yeah, that
That's
makes perfect sense.
getting in the body. Getting in the body means trusting that divine, trusting in your instinct, in your reaction. Fair?
Yeah, that was perfect. Thank you.
Awesome, I got you. Carol.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I mean, the workshop is probably coming a bit to the end, and Daniel asked for feedback, so I'll give you some positive feedback. I mean, I've been in coaching for quite a while as well, and so I just wanted to take a moment to just appreciate Daniel for empowering everyone, and yeah, just express my gratitude. See if we could get some class for Daniel from everyone.
Thank you. I love you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Shout out to Carol.
Is that how you pronounce it, Danian, or?
So it's Daniel, but friends, family call me Danny.
Okay.
So you can call me Danny. My name on every social media, whatever ever, is Danny. Here on Google Meet, it's for the private people. It's for the close people. That's why it's Daniel. But it's Daniel.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Carol. Thank you. Newman.
No problem, bro. You deserve it a lot.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Newman, what's up? You said can call Danny Daniel. Yeah, both. Whatever you prefer. Put your camera on.
Hey, there, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we cannot see you. Right now, you're
I'm sorry for that. Actually, I'm on the rooftop and there is no light, so I wasn't able to get it right now. But I tried anyway to get on the car. So sorry for that.
Newman, pause. Stop. Doesn't matter. The rule is put your camera on, even if it's black. Put your camera on.
Okay.
Awesome. Now I can listen. Otherwise, I couldn't hear you. You know what I mean? Tell me.
So actually, I joined the call halfway, but I loved it. Made new faces. The energy on the call was great. My question was that to get to our fears, how could we rewire our brains to actually stop the patterns that causes that fears to erupt?
Yes. It's by not asking that question anymore. Here's what I mean by that. It's by not trying to remove the fear. It's paradoxical. It's by not trying to remove the circumstances in your life that might cause the fear. It's by instead conditioning what I call the state of resourcefulness inside of you. Because resourcefulness is the ability to use anything we have in the moment. The light, the dark, the good, the bad, the courage, the fear. That's the underlying thing. So it's by not trying to remove circumstances that could cause that fear, instead deciding who you're going to become despite the fear, and that is courage. And how do you do that? Number one, acceptance. We've talked about that a lot of times. So physical sensation. It's okay, I'm human. I will experience fear. What else? What else you got? Is that all you got? Little sensation in my body? Is that what's supposed to stop me? Is that what I want to condition my whole life around removing? The fuck is that? Because now you removed all the stories in your head. If I'm afraid, then whatever, I'll fail, and blah, 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 blah. Physical sensation. Where's the fear? Oh, is that it? Okay. And then it's the habit of acting in spite of that fear. So that is when these environments, proximity is power, being exposed to higher standards, being closer to people that act in spite of fear consistently. So now it's natural for you. Immersion, challenges, gamification, using what you've been given. You've been given a brain, you've been given a system, and there are certain laws to that system. Instead of trying to change them, repress them, eliminate fear whatsoever, good luck with that. Instead, use it. It can be fuel. So, more practical answer, acceptance, whatever it takes for you to understand the importance of acceptance and presence with that fear. And then immersion, challenges, consistent getting out of your comfort zone. There's no other way. There's actually no other way, and there's no more rewarding thing in life than looking at your past and being like, I used to be terrified of that, and that's my reality now. This will create unshakable confidence. It's priceless. That proof, that gap, unshakable confidence. Fair enough? Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for the question, bro.
Okay.
Madhur, by the way, tell me, is that how I pronounce your name? Because I have a little bit of doubts.
Well, only Indians can pronounce that name the most correct way, like Ayan did. But my name needs to be pronounced Madhur, which means sweet. Yeah.
Madhur.
Yeah, well, you did.
There you go. Awesome.
Okay.
Tell us.
Yeah, I really wanted to appreciate whatever you said in this call. And I'm taking home some notes. And also, what you said while answering Noman was changing your state in order to focus and get out of your head and into your body. So I really have a term for it, I really wanted to share this with everyone on this call, which is never rehearse the reality which weakens execution. And when I was like digesting this via ChatGPT, it just pumped out something. Never rehearse the reality which weakens execution, which means that when there comes a stage where we are not good at something and we need to accept the reality. But still, we are in the same state of just drowning in that acceptance, and we never get out of it. And that's when it all hell breaks loose, and we never get out of it. And then our state of mind just poisons. And yeah, that is what I wanted to just reiterate again.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. That is actually a lot of sauce. So what you're saying is we must be careful. If we go too much in acceptance, then we won't actually take the action that is necessary. Is that the point you're making?
Well, yeah. Did you ever notice when you or anyone in this call keeps licking the same reality like a lollipop, and then it just gets magnified, right? So yeah, that's how I put it.
Yeah. I have a hot take on that one. I appreciate that because we're going to go deeper into it. I genuinely believe we can all know there's a reason why we exist, because we exist. We can start from that foundation. There's a reason why we're on this planet, because we've been put on this planet, regardless of what your religious beliefs are, regardless of what your philosophy is. You exist. That's undoubtable. Still, there's a reason why. We might not be sure why. People disagree as to why, but there's a reason. Okay. So I have a deep fundamental take that if you truly accept, if you actually get out of your head where you're dead and you go into the present moment, into your body, then there is no way for you not to be inspired. Because inspired means in spirit. There's no way for you when you're in your spirit not to actually take the action. That's where I challenge you. It's a bit philosophical, but that's a very important part of life. Very often the biggest forces in life are what we cannot see. And so I genuinely believe if you truly got out of your head and the stories that you believe, then there's no obstacle. And then you follow your deeper calling and you'll actually do it. There's no way for you not to do it. This is a core belief I have. Maybe that belief is what got me where I am. Maybe that's what got me to take action. Maybe I'm delusional, it's just a belief. I don't know. One thing I do know, it served me. Whether it's the ultimate truth or not, it served me for sure. So I recommend people to understand you have a purpose here by definition because you exist. Now you've been told all these stories, you've been conditioned, you forgot about it, you got distracted, but it's still there. All the answers are within. Your mind is just making too much noise for you to hear them. How about that? So when you get out of your head, you automatically move towards the direction you're meant to be. And that's your greatest potential. None of what I just said came from my head. I had goosebumps while talking. This is exactly what I mean. It's these moments. No filler words whatsoever, no stuttering whatsoever. It just flew. So I hope you guys could feel me. Yeah, hope you guys could feel me when I was saying that. This is the deeper purpose behind Born to Speak. The deepest. Thank you for bringing that up, Madhur, so that we were able to talk about it. And thank you to everyone who was present with us here. It's 1:30 Eastern. It's been an hour and a half. That's beautiful. Some people watched it on the live. Thank you for your presence. We'll be here next week. I appreciate you guys truly for your courage, for participating, for your immersion. It's only the beginning. It's only the beginning. If you guys have any extra questions or feedback or whatever, that's what the Skool community is for. Share with us, what are your top takeaways from the call? What do you want to see in the next calls? I'm open for all of that. We are the ones building that community. It's not only me. And I'm always available in the DMs if it's something more personal. Alrighty. Love you guys.